Welcome to part 2 of our demonstration series on how to plan, securely deploy, and manage your Windows 7 migration. In part 1 of this demo series, we showed how you can use the Microsoft Assessment and Planning Toolkit to quickly assess your hardware readiness for the Windows 7 operating system. In this demo, we'll use the automated tools in the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit to quickly and efficiently deploy Windows 7 across your organization. The Microsoft Deployment Toolkit, or MDT for short, comes with some great features to help streamline your migration to Windows 7. First, MDT has both tested guidance and built-in automation tools for deploying Windows 7. Second, MDT has a console that provides you with centralized access to all the resources you need to deploy Windows 7, which saves time and reduces your costs. Some customers have reported deployments that were up to 10 times faster with MDT. Third, the flexible design of MDT allows you to customize your process for deploying Windows 7 so you can best meet the needs of your organization. You can use MDT in two ways, either as a standalone deployment tool called Light Touch, or together with Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager 2007 R2 called Zero Touch. Here we'll be using MDT as a standalone or Light Touch deployment solution. So let's set the stage for our demo. We're moving to Windows 7. Our organization has hundreds of PCs, some still running Windows XP, and others are running Windows Vista. We want to deploy Windows 7 quickly and efficiently without disrupting our users. Let's see how we can use the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit to help us. Deploying Windows 7 using MDT is a simple, three-step process. Number 1. Gather all the operating system files and other resources we need into one location. Number 2. Configure our task sequence, which is the steps MDT will use to automatically deploy Windows 7 for us. Number 3. Run the task sequence to deploy Windows 7 to our target PCs. Let's begin. What we're looking at is the MDT Deployment Workbench. This is the centralized administration console we mentioned earlier that gives us easy access to all the guidance, tools, and processes we need to efficiently deploy Windows 7. As we said earlier, the first step of the deployment process is to gather all the required files into one location, called a deployment share. This repository will contain all the operating system images, language packs, applications, device drivers, and other software we need to deploy Windows 7 to our target PCs. Creating a new deployment share is easy. We just click Deployment Shares, then New Deployment Share. MDT provides us with a wizard that leads us through the rest of this process, step by step. Here, we name the deployment share and tell MDT where we want this share to reside. For our demo, we'll skip the rest of the steps in the wizard. This confirmation screen shows us that our deployment share has been created. Now that we've created a place to house our files, let's gather the files we need. MDT comes with another wizard to make this process easy. We'll start with the operating system files. To start the wizard, we just select Import Operating System. The wizard asks us to provide basic information such as the location of the operating system files. Just like that, we've successfully imported all the Windows 7 operating system files into our deployment workbench. Using the same type of wizard, we also can import device drivers and operating system language packs, as well as applications such as Microsoft Office. Having completed step 1 of our process, let's move on to step 2, where we create the task sequence that will do the work of automatically deploying Windows 7. MDT gives us a head start by providing a template for this task sequence, and we can easily customize the template to meet our needs. Let's see how it works. First, we select New Task Sequence. Let's give our new task sequence the name TS-Win7, shorthand for Task Sequence Windows 7. Now, we choose the template we're going to use. For this demo, we'll select the Standard Client Task Sequence template. After selecting the template, we click Next. Now we can see the Windows 7 operating system image that we imported in the previous step. In just a minute, we'll use our task sequence to deploy this image. Our task sequence has been successfully created. If we want to, we can easily customize this task sequence to meet our unique needs. For now, let's move on to the final step of our Windows 7 deployment process. In this final step, we're going to deploy Windows 7. We'll use MDT's built-in deployment wizard to help us get the job done quickly and efficiently. For this demo, we're going to deploy Windows 7 to just one target PC. Remember, though, that we could deploy Windows 7 to thousands of PCs using this very same process with minimal disruption to our users. First, we'll provide our credentials and connect to the deployment share that we created in Step 1 of the deployment process. Next, we select the task sequence we configured in Step 2. We'll provide a name for the target PC that will receive the Windows 7 image, and specify the domain or workgroup information for our target PC. We can then specify whether user data and settings need to be restored. This is a great feature because it allows us to ensure that our users' data and settings remain the same as they were before deploying Windows 7. In this demo, we're working with a brand new PC, so there's no data or settings to restore. After specifying additional criteria that the deployment wizard needs to deploy Windows 7, we launch the actual deployment by clicking Begin. Once the deployment starts, it needs no additional input. And just like that, we get confirmation that our deployment was successful. Windows 7 is now installed on our target PC. Again, we could have just as easily deployed Windows 7 to thousands of PCs using this very same process. That completes our quick demo of the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. You've just seen how you can use MDT's simple three-step process to gather files and resources, configure a task sequence, and use that task sequence to deploy Windows 7. We also demonstrated how you can use the centralized management console and built-in wizards in MDT to help you complete your deployment quickly and efficiently. For a quick overview of this free, fully supported tool and for additional resources, visit www.microsoft.com/SAT-resource. To download MDT, go to www.microsoft.com/MDT. Finally, be sure to check out our other solution accelerators for Windows 7, the Microsoft Assessment and Planning Toolkit, and the Microsoft Security Compliance Manager. These accelerators can help you plan, securely deploy, and manage Windows 7 more easily and at less cost to you. We hope you enjoyed this tour of the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. Thanks for watching the demo.